Welcome back. So let's talk NBA. NBA, a lot to talk about with Rick, my great friend Jack. NBA heating up, man.
Yes, sir.
3 games left, a lot of movement. Lakers Knicks tonight. What you think?
I think both teams need to win tonight, especially since
Lakers really need to win to get out of that 7th spot, which I don't think they're going to do.
Well, Atlanta won last night, so the Knicks, in order to secure that 4th position, they need to win their next couple of games to secure it. Otherwise, Atlanta, but it probably doesn't even matter because they're going to play Atlanta anyways.
4 is going to play 5.
Yeah, but it's just it looks better when you finish the season in the 4th spot rather than the 5th. As far as the Lakers are concerned, they need some type of create some type of continuity for the next couple of games to go into the playoffs, because they're going to end up playing a red hot Stephen Curry right now. So,
yeah, he's playing well. He hit. I don't know if you saw the game last night. He hit that 3 to beat Utah. It was funny. He missed the 3 to put him ahead, and then they got the rebound. The ball went back to him, and he hit it, of course. But they really needed that game. Utah is pretty solid in the number 1 spot, particularly because Phoenix lost to the Lakers the night before, and that was interesting to me because the Lakers played like such a desperate team. Anthony Davis played as well as I've seen him play, and the Lakers did a great job of shutting down Devin Booker and Ayton in the middle. I was really surprised the Lakers really put it to Phoenix, and they were desperate. The Lakers are desperate again tonight. You stop and think about it. Portland, they got 3 more games. If they win 2 out of 3, they're fine, because the Lakers are going to have to win every game and hope that Portland only wins 1 out of 3 games to get the 6th spot. Portland is a game ahead of the Lakers in the 6th spot, and if they tie, Portland wins because of the season series. Portland won the season series. So the Lakers have to win every game, and Portland has to win 1 out of 3. That's possible because Portland's got some big games, but I just can't see the Lakers I cannot see the Lakers getting out of the 7th spot and having to play the Golden State Warriors, because 7 and 8, the Lakers are 7, Golden State is 8, 9 and 10 is Memphis and San Antonio. I don't think they're going to move up, but it's close, that play-in series, which you really advocate. And same thing in the East. It's close. Look at Boston. Boston's done, man. Jaylen Brown out for the year with torn ligaments in his hand. I saw that injury, and I said, this guy's done for the year. And then they announced it yesterday. But Boston has had a terrible year. No continuity. Players hurt, in and out of the lineup. COVID problems. Boston's got to play in the play-in, man. They have fallen.
Boston looked like they were on their way of
doing
something
Kemba
well.
Walker was getting healthy.
And then all of a sudden they just spiraled down.
Up and down. They've had no continuity.
And then Miami looked like they're on a tear right now. Seven out of the last 10 games.
Yeah, trying to move up.
New York, same trend. They're trending up. Milwaukee, Brooklyn's 500 in the last 10 games. I don't know. Maybe they're resting players, whatever the case is.
It's again in and out of the lineup. Kevin Durant in, Kevin Durant out. Harden says he may try to play a couple games. Let me ask you. My opinion is that basketball, more than any game, you've got to play. You got to be used to it. You got to have the wind. You got to have the legs. You got to have the jumping. It's tough to turn it on and off in the NBA. Like LeBron's going to come back tonight and hopefully play the last 3 games before the playoffs. Anthony Davis is really starting to look like himself again. It took him a couple weeks. You look at a team like Brooklyn, they haven't played together sparingly all year. Is Harden going to come back? I don't see it. You look at the Lakers. They've gotten used to guys like Caruso and KPC and KFC, whatever they call him. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP. I like to call him KFC. Jokingly, his name is not that. It's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And they brought in this guy Ben McLemore, who you thought was a pretty good acquisition by the Lakers, and he played really well.
And I still think
he's a 3-point guy. And those guys' roles are all going to change. Kuzma's role, they're all going to change because, again, Schroeder's going to be back. Schroeder's out with the COVID protocol. He'll be back in a couple
Well,
games.
and speaking of that,
The Lakers are all over the
why
place in my
this
opinion.
is like his second or third.
Second time. I mean, come on, man. Again, I don't.
That's another selfish. Whatever you're doing, selfish to put your team in that jeopardy.
Yeah. No other player had that problem on the Lakers. He had it twice. And again, he's a great facilitator. His world changes when LeBron's there. Because when LeBron came back for a couple of days, he didn't know what to do because he likes being in charge of the ball.
Yeah, LeBron is the facilitator. So what's your take on your Clippers?
Man, great question. Great question. I've been on the Clipper bandwagon all year.
Not all year, since last year too.
Yeah, since last year, and they, embarrassed me last year amongst all their other fans. Gosh, it's a tough team to understand. They play well, and you think they're really on a roll, and then they don't play well. The Clippers just don't have that feel like they're going to do it all the time. It's, either Leonard or George, one of them doesn't play that well, and the other one plays well, and it's just weird getting them both to play well together.
Do you think they have a problem that they can't finish games?
Oh, they've been having a tough time finishing games, and we saw that last year in the bubble. The Clippers, I don't know if they're going to make a run. I mean, I don't know if Phoenix is going to make a run. Utah, I think, again, Donovan Mitchell's been out. They've been winning without him. Bogdanovich has been unbelievable, man, the way he's been playing. He's been unbelievable. Last night, they get beat by an average Golden State team, and they weren't playing well down the stretch. So, there's just something telling me that in the end, in the West, it's still going to be the Lakers and Clippers.
I don't think so.
A lot of people believe in
my money is still on Phoenix. Phoenix.
Why did they play so poorly against the Lakers and beat so badly? It wasn't even a close game.
I'll go back to what I've said. It's not who you play. It's when you play them.
But they were still trying to get the number one spot. They're not going to get it now. Utah's going to get it. The number one spot is great. You realize when Utah gets the number one spot in the playoffs, they're not going to have to play the Lakers, Clippers, or Phoenix until the third round. It's big. That's big. The number one seed is huge. It's just like in the East. Philadelphia, of all the teams, in my opinion, really deserve that spot. They've worked hard all year through injury. They've had their issues with Simmons out and Embiid out and Harris out. They've had their issues in Philadelphia, but they continue to play well and win. And I really like that Philadelphia team. I mean, I really like that Philadelphia team. Keep Embiid healthy. Keep him making threes. You see him the other night making threes?
Yeah, his game is evolving, and that part of his game is one of the things that he worked on as far as shooting the three. He's not like a Ben Simmons that was shying away from it. No, he wanted to be able to make threes, so he worked on it, and he's making it better. Where you expect Simmons, because Simmons right now, like it's he's a jumper guy, but
he goes to the hole so well. I just
that's
like
how you
the
get hurt.
Yeah, I know, but he's only had one injury this year. I like that combination of Embiid, Simmons, and Tobias Harris. That's a great combination, and they got some good role players.
But Tobias Harris is a difference maker.
Of course,
when those two players are playing well, or even if Embiid is in foul trouble, or Simmons is not doing what he's supposed to do, or he's got an off night, that's who you want to give you that consistent third option.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I keep looking at Milwaukee and thinking, gosh,
they don't have that third option.
But I mean, they're a pretty good team. I mean, you got Giannis in there, and Middleton is a very, very good player. Holiday is their third option, of course. He's a fine player. That's their big three. But then you wonder, what's going on? What's going on with PJ Tucker? I expected more on him in Milwaukee. Is he not in shape? Is he hurt? He's not doing much there.
Sometimes it's on a matter of a team and their system, and if you fit that system. Just like you have a Carmelo Anthony that wasn't good enough for Houston. He wasn't good enough for what's the other place he was in Oklahoma City, right? But then look at him go to Portland, and he's contributing.
He's contributing, but he's funny. I don't know if he loses attention. He's got an attention span problem. The other night he was terrible, and I'm like, well, what is Carmelo doing up there? and of course Dame Lillard and McCollum, they made it happen at the end of the game the other night. I was watching when they had to win. And Portland's got to win games because it's very close between them and the Lakers. If they lose these last three or lose one of these three and the Lakers win them all, Lakers will move to 6. And that's huge. I don't see Portland giving it up. Again, that's a scrappy little team. And it really, really helps that Nurkic is back, because now you're really, really strong in the middle, man. And Nurkic is a good ball player, and the backup is good. So Portland could make some noise. I mean, Utah, Phoenix, the Lakers, the Clippers, that West is tough, man. Somebody's going to get surprised. Somebody's going to get out early. First, second round is going to be out of the playoffs who we thought had a good shot. I mean, there's like 5 teams that could win it and be in the Western Conference Championship and go to the finals. And in the East, I mean, I don't think the Knicks have enough to get there.
No, it's between those
Memphis
first
doesn't
three.
have enough. Atlanta doesn't have enough. The only team that has enough, there's 3 teams that have enough.
Yeah,
and
Philly, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee.
And it's going to be injury driven. It's going to be continuity driven. It's going to be a break here and there. I believe that Philadelphia is going to be the one. I think it's their year. I really think it's their year.
I think it's.
And what's with George Hill? What is he doing? Nothing. He's hardly even playing. I mean, I thought he'd go in and help that ball club.
It's a matter of.
He's not even getting many minutes.
It's the
George
coach.
Hill's a good ball player.
He can't. He doesn't dictate how many minutes he gets. It's all on the coach on what they want out of him. And in order to get that, like you said with basketball, you have to be playing. If you're not playing, and then they put you in, you're not doing anything because you don't get that you're not playing.
Can Dallas do it?
Yes.
Do they have enough to get to the championship of the West?
Okay. That's
Porzingis
two different questions.
Yeah.
So can they do it? Yes.
But when I say can they do it? Can they do what? Can they win a series or 2, or can they compete to be in the championship?
Can they compete to be in the championship? Absolutely. But that goes.
Great coach.
That goes. They'll go where Porzingis goes.
Yeah,
and it's up to him. Big time.
That guy he needs to put some weight on. He is in and out of the lineup. I mean, this guy has played. Has he played 5 straight games this year?
I doubt it.
I mean, when he's in there, and you got Tim Hardaway Jr. hitting them, playing so well, and you got that Finney kid playing well. They're a pretty good ball club, man.
Yes, but that's and part of it is he is like as much as we want to focus on Luka, he is just as much as the number 1 as Luka is. But the problem is Luka's always there. Porzingis is not.
Yeah, he gets a hangnail when he's out. Porzingis cracks me up.
He gets a hangnail.
No, really, it's the NBA. The NBA has been a joke, man. And now everybody wants to play. Hardaway is going to come back. I mean, it's. I don't know, man. It's like, what's going to happen here? Is LeBron going to get healthy enough? Are the Lakers going to be okay? Is Brooklyn going to be okay? What's going to happen in Brooklyn? How do you see it? How do you see it happening for Brooklyn? I mean, educate me. I am confused about what's going on in Brooklyn with all these injuries.
You want to hear what's going to happen in Brooklyn?
Yeah, tell me about their team and their players and who's
Brooklyn's going to get knocked out in the first round.
Really?
And you heard it here first.
Really?
Brooklyn is going to get knocked out.
They're going to be number 2 or number 3?
Number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah, but
so they'll play a 7.
Yes, and right now the 7 is Boston. They'll get
Boston going to win in the play-in?
Yes.
Boston's going to win in the play-in. I don't think so. I think Boston's about done. Who's Boston due to play in the play-in?
That would be Chicago.
No, Boston can beat Chicago.
Yes.
Unless Zach LaVine goes off. Zach LaVine, what a nice player. What do you think Memphis is going to do in the playoffs? Memphis
is going to beat San Antonio, of course.
They got 2 really good players.
But
John Morant and Valanciunas. You ever watch Valanciunas?
No,
Hey, he's a fine center. He was the guy that got traded for Marc Gasol. Gasol went to Toronto and got a championship, and Valanciunas got sent to Memphis. and wasn't able to get that championship. But he's a good center. You ever watch that guy play? He's a hard worker, man. He's one of the hardest working guys in the NBA. But they got two good players. And you know, it's interesting because you look at Atlanta. Do they have enough?
I don't think so.
Can they win a couple games in a playoff series? They're going to get swept.
They're not going to get swept, but they can win a couple, definitely. And this is me as a Knicks fan, because I know that first round, that's who they're going to play. It's two scrappy teams that's hungry, that's young and talented, that's going to be going up against each other. And, you know, we can see as far as the future is them maybe being rivals and stuff, because they're both hungry.
Yeah.
But I think New York is a more talented team, and with a better coach.
New York is so well coached. You know, the team we failed to talk about so far that really has an opportunity, even though, you know, Jamal Murray is out hurt, is Denver. Aaron Gordon has made a difference. Jokic is going to be the MVP, of course. He's going to win MVP this year. Do they have enough in Denver to compete for the title, the Western Conference title? Do they have enough?
Yes, they can. I can see them going 2 rounds. Beyond that, I can't. It depends on who they play and when they play the team.
Is the West loaded or what?
Yes,
They're going to wear each other out.
the problem with
They're going to wear each other out. I mean, there's like 6 teams that could win it in the West.
So,
And that being said, the Lakers are the most talented, and if everybody's healthy and feeling good, and you know, LeBron's got the love fest with the teammates, the Lakers are going to repeat again. But I just can't help but think it's going to be a Kevin Durant situation, where he tried to come back in Golden State after all that time off, and he got hurt in Golden State and inevitably didn't win it. I think that's going to happen to one of the Lakers players, one of the key players. Somebody's going to get hurt because you play every other night. It is different in the playoffs. You ramp it up about, you know, 50 more percent. Everybody's playing defense. Everybody's aggressive. Everybody's banging on the boards. Everybody's knocking each other down.
Every possession.
There's no messing around in the playoffs. I mean, the playoffs, that's why I love NBA playoffs. I hope you guys watch NBA playoffs. I mean, they are fun. It's serious business. The true talent comes out, but it's night after night after night. I mean, you play one game, you get a break, and then you play the next night. And it's like, the funny thing this year, it's not bubble. It's not bubble driven. And please take that in mind. Last year, we had a controlled environment. There was no travel. You had the same hotel room. You ate in the same restaurant. You practiced at the same place. You went to the same place to play. You got to get on a plane, no sleep, go on the road, get to the other person's where you're playing. You're going to be on the road. So be aware of one thing. Travel is going to affect players' health in these playoffs, and there's been a lot of injuries. So you watch. This is not a controlled environment. The Lakers want it in a controlled environment. Let's see what happens when teams got to go on the road. And again, there's fans in these stadiums. What's going to happen? Who's going to win it? It's wide open, I think. It's wide open.
Again, back to what you were saying about the West, how loaded they are. You have a 38 win New York Knicks. That's in the 4th position, right?
Yeah.
That same 38 win team is in the 7th spot,
I know,
as the Lakers are.
Yeah.
That's how loaded the West is.
The West is talented, man. And they beat up on the East all the time. The West is so talented. It's going to be fun. I think more than any year. I mean, don't hand it to the Lakers. Don't hand the crown to the Lakers. Again, I think conditions are going to be much different.
No, to be honest, because LeBron hasn't been playing and consistency wise, I don't even think that they'll win the play-in, but then I think they'll get knocked out in the first round. I just don't have the confidence.
That's hard to believe. That's going to be hard to believe, because if they get the 7th spot and they win in the play-in, so that means they get the 7th spot and they're going to play the number 2 Phoenix. You think Phoenix is going to beat the Lakers?
Yeah, that's the team that I think.
That's who they're going to play.
Yeah,
because you know, if it stays the way it is, Golden State's going to play the Lakers in the play-in. The Lakers will beat Golden State by 20 points. You heard it here first.
Unless Steph goes off.
I don't care if he scores 50 points; they're still going to lose. The Lakers are not going to lose to Golden State. The Lakers are not going to lose to Golden State if they play each other, and it could change again. Phoenix. I mean, Portland doesn't have an easy road. Portland's got 3 tough games left. And Portland's got to win 2 out of those 3, even if the Lakers win all 3, well, Portland's still in. If the Lakers win all 3 and Portland loses 2,
so you say my Knicks are gonna lose tonight?
the Knicks and the Lakers tonight. What do you all think? Lakers, Knicks tonight. Good game. What do you think? I kind of like the Lakers tonight. You like the Knicks? How many the Lakers favored by?
I didn't check the line.
You know they're favored with LeBron playing. Probably 3.5, 4, 5, maybe. I didn't look at the line either, but I will later probably make a bet. As I was telling you all last week, and this really came true, by the way. I was saying that bet the teams that have to win. And you saw it again last night. Atlanta had to win. Golden State had to win. Memphis had to win. They all won. And that was all good bets. The night before on Sunday, there were 5 teams that had to win and they all won. Well, there was money to be made the last couple of days, and there's money to make tonight. I know the Lakers have to win. Kudos to the Knicks and great coaching, and Julius Randle has just been
MVP.
unbelievable.
MVP.
He's had an MVP year. He'll be top 5. Randall's been great. God, give him credit. He's been great. The Knicks have been great. What a comeback season. I mean, they're the most improved team in basketball. I think Thibodeau should win Coach of the Year, don't you?
I think so too.
I mean, what an improved ball club. I give them much respect. They play hard every night.
So
Another team like Atlanta, Memphis, those guys play hard. If you ever watch Memphis, they play hard every night. I love a team. And Golden State plays hard every night. Steve Kerr was so happy that they made the playoffs. So many people said Golden State will not make the playoffs. They will not make the playoffs.
It was like
and even if there wasn't the play in 9 and 10, they're going to make it as a 7 or an 8. They're an 8 right now. So Golden State, there's been some great stories in the NBA this year, and we'd like to hear about your great stories, who you liked and your team, and who do you think's going to do it. I mean, we enjoy having this show and giving you our knowledge, and thanks for watching it, and thanks for watching us at WWDBTV and Roku and Apple and YouTube, and liking our show and sharing our show. But it's really interesting. It's coming down to the nitty gritty right now. Who do you all think is going to win it? I got no idea about that. I like Philadelphia a lot.
my number is still on Phoenix.
Phoenix, you've been on Phoenix all year.
Yeah.
And I respect that stick-to-itiveness that you've had. Jack has been on Phoenix from day one, so this will be a great team. That Chris Paul would make a big difference. He would bring confidence, a better player out in Devin Booker. He's made the whole team better. Phoenix has been great. They got a great coach over there, really good coach over there in Phoenix. And, it's up in the air, but the playoffs are going to be fun, man. Make your bets, enjoy it.
So let's talk about MVP.
Oh, again, him and his MVP every time.
Yeah, every week it changes.
And I'll say it again. Is it Steph Curry?
I like Steph Curry.
Is it Jokic?
I like Jokic.
Is it Randall?
I like Randall.
Is it Zach LaVine?
I don't like Zach LaVine.
Is it John Morant?
No. Is it Beal?
Is it Bradley Beal? Speaking of Bradley Beal, I don't care about the MVP right now. Who's going to win the scoring title?
Steph.
He and Steph are within fractions of each other.
Yeah.
And now they're having beef about it because Bazemore came out and said, he's watching our guy over here in Golden State, and now he's got a hamstring injury because he's playing too hard trying to keep up with Steph. And Steph's got him beat, and Beal came back and said, Bazemore, you're a clown. Stay out of the business. Beal's out another game. He's going to end up, if he plays, a couple of games to do it, but it looks like Steph's going to win it again.
I like Beal, but I think Steph's going to win it, obviously, because his team is in a position like Washington's in the 10th spot right now.
Washington's going to get a game. Yeah, they're going to get one game.
Again, back to my MVP. What do you think about Chris Paul?
Chris Paul
in the conversation to these top 5.
Chris Paul has been fabulous. He deserves it. I believe. I still believe if you take the little injury out of it, that Joel Embiid would win the MVP. And there's something telling me that Joel Embiid is going to win the MVP. And that's where I'll put my money right now. On Embiid with Jokic second. I say
That's so much disrespect for Jokic
Why?
and his performance if Embiid wins it.
Why?
Because he's been there and he's been performing.
Guys get hurt.
So
Jokic,
what?
That's why Jokic is going to win it. But I want to see Embiid win it. He's
No. If
short of his
anybody's
injury, he's had a
absolutely, but
Embiid
he
has
has
an
a
incredible year, man.
but part of being MVP is being there.
Jokic is going to win it. If you talk about everybody else, in second place is going to be Embiid. Chris Paul and the rest of them will fall in. Steph will fall in behind him. I want to cover one thing before we got to go here. We could talk for hours about NBA. We got to give props to Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Setting the record, beating out Oscar Robertson. He's going to beat him by a long way because he's got a lot of career left. He's going to set a record that nobody will ever touch. Westbrook's record will stand forever, in my opinion. More triple doubles than anybody ever in a basketball career. Russell Westbrook owns the record at a young age, and he's going to do it a lot more. So we got to give props to Russell. You don't?
Yes, absolutely.
I love him. Russell's a hard worker, man. He
works hard.
I love Russell Westbrook, man. He's crazy. He's an oddball. He's a strange dresser. He yells at everybody on the court, the fans, the other players, himself. I love Russell Westbrook, man. Kid from UCLA, kid grew up in LA. He's had a illustrious career. Illustrious. The title escapes him so far. But I love Russell Westbrook. What a player, man. That's my idea. The epitome of a hardworking NBA player is Russell Westbrook. Russell, great year, great season. I hope you win a couple games in the playoffs here. And, it's been a good year in the NBA. It really has. I know. I can see you want to talk some more MVP. I don't. I'm done.
No, I really like.
I'm not disrespecting you.
I want to
congratulate.
I still want to congratulate Russell on his his record for the season as far as paying them past. I believe it's like a 40-something year record on the books since he broke it. Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, but last couple of days of the season, some crazy things will happen. The season's over on Sunday. The play-in starts on the 18th, and then we get really serious about this tournament. This is a hell of a tournament. NBA playoffs is the best, man. You got to understand, in the first round, you got games every other night. And a lot of teams, a lot of games. Guess what? I don't miss many of them.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
I don't miss many of them. Thank God my daughter's got her little tablet to look at her stuff on YouTube. Because she doesn't like watching NBA with me. But she's got her entertainment. She's going to need it. I'll be watching NBA. This is a fun show. I don't know about you. I like it better than NFL. I love this NBA show, and it's going to be great the next month. Playoffs and bantering back and forth. And give me your two teams in the championship before we go say goodbye to our good friends who were
Milwaukee,
incredible.
Phoenix.
Milwaukee, Phoenix. Wow.
Phoenix winning it all.
Well, that's brave. Phoenix winning it all. You heard it. We'll record this and keep it. Boy, this is tough. I'll say Philadelphia Lakers.
Okay.
And you know what's probably going to end up happening? What they predicted at the beginning of the season. Brooklyn and the Lakers. With Brooklyn winning it. James Harden believes, he said it many times, I've heard him in many interviews, even though he's not playing, that there's no team in the NBA that can beat his team 4 games. There's no team in the NBA that can beat his team 4 games in a playoff series. Do you believe that?
I believe they'll get knocked out first round.
Okay. We could go on and on. Thanks for watching. Your knowledge is amazing. We respect and appreciate your knowledge. And you bring a lot to the table. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We thank you for watching. Thanks for liking us. These are the type of shows where, it helps you with your betting. And you got to bet on the NBA. You got to get some bets in there. If you would have been betting the last 2 weeks, you would have made a lot of money. Just bet the teams that need to win. Finish the season out. Easy bet tonight, Lakers. Take the Lakers. He's taking the Knicks. Take the Lakers. We'll have our friendly bet off here. Thanks for watching. God bless. Thanks for liking our shows. We appreciate you. We really, really appreciate you. And we say thank you. And we'll look forward to talking to you next week. God bless. Have a great week ahead.